Hey guys, MCU Collector here with another figure review, and next up is the Hasbro Marvel Legends series Walgreens exclusive, the man called Nova. This is Richard Rider Nova. Now I know I said Walgreens exclusive, however here in the United States no one has yet to find one in a Walgreens, so be patient. It will hit hopefully soon. In the next couple of days you'll start to see them trickle into Walgreens. But I got mine from my good buddy Quinn, who runs SpookyBarnToys.com, a Canada-based action figure collectible online shop. So check it out, Spooky Barn Toys, link in the video description below. But he picked this up at his local eBay games and sent one out my way. So I really appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. But here we have Nova. Looks awesome. He comes with the Xandarian World Mine. He comes with one additional set of interchangeable hands. The packaging looks really cool. I like that old school logo of the man called Nova there. Up at the top we actually get that Nova helmet, Nova Core helmet logo there. Side artwork of Nova looks really, really nice. I really like the way that came out. Looks great. Looking at the back of the package, we get that image, that artwork of Nova, and I like the galaxy look to the packaging in the background. It's really cool. The bio reads, Marvel's Nova, chosen by the last surviving member of an elite intergalactic defense force, Richard Rider ascends from humble origins to continue the battle as Nova. So pretty cool. I've seen a few people actually comment that the Spanish version isn't actually complete. I guess it's not. I didn't read it, but just an interesting note. But there it is, the man called Nova. Let's get this thing out of the package. Actually, check out this insert. It's got this nice space galaxy design in there. So that is just really awesome. I really like the way that looks. Very, very, very cool. Okay, and here is the Nova figure out of the package. And he is definitely a fun one, but one that I'm finding kind of tricky on pinpointing kind of some of the body mold pieces that they use and where they came from. I'm a little baffled and confused, so I got to do a little bit of research to figure out what's going on, because I think he's got some Bucky Cap legs. I think just like the thighs are Bucky Cap, the arms are probably Bucky Cap, the feet are not, because they're a normal size feet, not miniature feet. The torso I can't put my finger on, so I got to do some research to figure it out, but he's definitely a fun one. The Xandarian World Mind is pretty cool, and then of course the flying pose, hands with their straight out, you can use to represent him flying, or depending how you use it, the artwork shows him with his fists out, so that's how I did it. But those are the only additional accessories, but we will take a closer look at the Xandarian World Mind when we take a closer look at Nova. So I'm going to do some research and we'll get back to you and kind of go over some of those body parts. Okay, so here we have an up-close look at the Richard Rider Nova figure, and you know what? Looks pretty good. So I also did some research on some of the pieces that are used. Now, the torso I could not identify, and I think the reason for that is because it's a new torso, newly molded torso, because of how the shoulders are. You see how they're perfectly straight. You don't see that on most figures. You would usually see kind of how the body would line, but it would not be a perfectly straight line usually there. Now I think part of the reason for that is because of these shoulder pad pieces that we have here. And those kind of swivel independently of the shoulder, but they also can move with the shoulder, so that is really cool. But so I believe it is brand new. Now these hip pieces, I can't identify either. I looked and I looked, I just don't know. They're not Bucky Cap, but the legs are Bucky Cap. So it's weird that they would use different pieces here, and I just can't identify. The boots, I didn't actually do a whole lot looking into it, but it is not the same as the Bucky Cap calves. As you can see, they're completely smooth and you don't see any of the muscle lines. And there we have like normal sized feet instead of Bucky Cap tiny feet. So those are the molded pieces there. Now the figure itself looks really good. We get this nice metallic gold for the hands and the arms, as you can see there, and it looks like that is the plastic. That is not paint, because you can see all of the marbleization in there. If you guys checked out Shartimus Prime's Hasbro Marvel Legends team interview, they actually talked about the marbleization when it comes to the metallic color plastics, because it is how the flow lines and when the plastic fills the mold, so that's what ends up happening. And I actually got a little bit of that right on his helmet there, so it looks kind of like a line, but that's just the flow line of the metallic plastic mold. So again, no paint, it's actually just in the plastic, so that's why we see the marbleization there. I don't mind the marbleization. I think it actually kind of looks pretty cool, because if you have some kind of metallic color and you have some light shining off of it, you're going to see kind of some swirls and the reflections of things, and I like to pretend that's what's going on there. Maybe that's just me. Some of you guys might do the same, but I don't mind it. You guys can let me know down in the comments below some of your thoughts on there. But as far as the rest of the figure, it's pretty plain. We get the solid blue kind of throughout with a little bit of gold paint. So we get the gold paint there in the front on his torso. Nothing on the back except around his waist and going down his legs and around the top of his boots. This red piece here on the helmet, that is actually an extra piece that is glued onto the helmet, and you can see it is a very soft rubbery type material. It's not really going to get in the way. And then his eyes, we get this nice turquoise blue color in there. That is really cool. Now, one thing I want to point out, and this is something that almost never happens. Now, I know what I'm going to see in the comments is going to be a lot of, well, why don't they do this on Spider-Man figures? And the answer is, I have no idea, because here you can see blue pins, right? They're blue. So what happens on Spider-Man figures, we'll see one color on one side, which will match, and then on the other side, it will be a different color and not match. But check this out. Looking at the legs, there is gold in there. Those pins are painted gold. Look at it. Gold. Gold. They painted the pins. How cool is that? Looking at the other side. They painted the pins. They are gold. So they don't stand out as much. Now they're really far in. They're really set in there pretty deep. Usually you'll see where the pins are like right on the edge, like here on the arms. But they're on the legs. They're deep in there. But they actually took the time to paint those ends, which is really cool. Spider-Man figures would be great if they did that, especially on the arms. Not sure why Nova gets that treatment where other figures don't. Maybe it's because he's exclusive. He doesn't have a huge amount of accessories. There's no Build-A-Figure part, so the budget would work out a little bit differently. At least that's kind of what I expect the reasoning to be there. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not really sure, but I like to think that's the reason why. Anyway, you can pop out the hands, and then you could pop in the interchangeable straight out flying hands, as you can see there. And then next we get the Xandarian World Mind. Now this, a lot of people were wondering, you know, is that an additional helmet or anything like that? Is it a specific character? It is not. It is the Xandarian World Mind. So similar to the Kree, what was it called? It slipped my mind just now. I had it. The Supreme Intelligence. The Xandarian World Mind contains all of the memories and thoughts and everything of all the previous Nova Corps members. And then I think everyone on Xandar. But it's a supercomputer, so that's what it's there. That's why it's a floating head. As you can see, we use the same stand piece that came with like Herbie and I think Headpool. You can see on the bottom there is a peg hole. It is not made to go onto a figure at all because it wouldn't make sense. It is the Xandarian World Mind. Now, I've seen some images online and it's like this massive holographic looking head. Why we get this tiny little head piece, I'm not really sure, but you can kind of fudge some things in your display, or if you're going for a particular image on what some of the things that you could do. But that's what it is. Now, it's done in a fairly rubbery type material. Like, it feels very, very soft throughout the whole thing, even on the tops and everything. Like these pieces, you can kind of see they have a little bit of flex to them. The red there on the helmet is basically the same thing that you see on Richard Rider's helmet, and then inside is just black color there. But that is pretty cool. So, Xandarian World Mind. Now let's zoom out for articulation. Okay, so Richard Rider's articulation, he can look all the way down, which is fantastic. He can look all the way up, which is great, because when you want to get into some fighting poses, you can do that. The head gets a full rotation in there. Not a whole lot as far as the any kind of pivot goes. One thing I didn't mention, they didn't paint any of his lips or anything, and I don't mind that. It came out looking pretty good, but he is pretty pale looking, so just a heads up there. You get the arm basically just to go straight out, but you do, again, get a full rotation in there, and that shoulder pad will actually rotate with the shoulder so that doesn't mess up the sculpt, and it looks pretty good. So there we have the upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, like so. Again, this is the Bucky Cap arms So double jointed elbow like so, wrists swivel and they hinge. You get an ab crunch that crunches that far forward. So a new torso, and that's a pretty good crunch. Going back, you go back pretty far, but then bam, we get a cut in there, and the paint does not continue all the way, but chances are you wouldn't have them bend that far back anyway. You can go to about there, and it, for the most part, kind of keeps with the paint. Waist swivel there, legs go out that far apart, pretty far apart, more than Bucky Cap would, I would say. Kicks forward that far. We have an upper thigh cut there, double jointed knee like so. We get a boot swivel at the top of the boot. Foot hinges all the way down. We actually get some hinge up, which is great. Ankle pivot, peg holes at the bottom of the feet. So good articulation on Richard Rider Nova. Now let's see him next to another Nova and another Nova. Okay, so here we have the Richard Rider Nova figure next to a previously released Richard Rider Nova figure that came in the Guardians of the Galaxy group Build-A-Figure wave. Very good looking figure at the time. I love the metallic blue, but the yellow plastic around his waist, the gauntlets, and then his boots there, it's just molded yellow plastic. Didn't look as good, same with the helmet, but the chest and the shoulders got gold paint, and those look really nice. And it's just kind of antiquated articulation or some things going on with the torso, so it's nice to get an update. Like, he has a tiny head, like when you compare it to this one. And then next to him, we have the Sam Alexander Kid Nova figure from the Titus Build-A-Figure wave, which you see right there in the back. So a little bit of some Nova core going on there for you guys to check out. Okay, so my final thoughts on the Nova figure. I really like it when we start to get some new body parts to certain figures. Now, I know we're not going to be able to get that on every figure, but it is nice to see it when it does happen. Going cosmic for the Walgreens exclusive line this year has been great. We got the Silver Surfer that was the previous Walgreens exclusive, and I know people are still trying to find this guy. So who knows what will come. We do know that Quasar is the next figure. There has not yet been a tease of what other figures might be coming out, but you guys can let me know and drop your guesses down what you think will be the next cosmic figure that will be released through Walgreens Marvel Legends, because I think we get, what is it, 6 figures a year, 5 or 6 exclusive figures a year at Walgreens. This is our second of the year. So we shall see. So I'd be curious to see what you guys think. You guys let me know down in the comments below what you think of this Nova figure. I think it's great. Definite a nice update to the previous one that we got before. You know, we actually get a classic suit, classic look to Richard Rider, so that is really cool. But you guys let me know in the comments below how excited you are. If you guys liked the video, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, thank you for watching.